Bueno, seguimos.
Very well, allow us to proceed with the next panel. It's a special panel, a very important presentation. I would ask you to first put the presentation, and afterwards we'll make the introduction. Thank you. Ukraine, further than war, and IP. Ganna Prokhorova from Mamunya, IP in Ukraine. When we thought, or when we were planning the sessions of this event, ASIPI wanted in a certain way to also send a message of support to Ukraine, its citizens, and our colleagues of PI in Ukraine. We believed that a good way of doing this was contracting some of the colleagues that we have in this country so they could tell us about the reality that they are currently living and that they will continue living surely in this country. People that just as us, just some time ago, had a normal life, and suddenly they found war at the doorsteps of their homes. So we will have a conversation with Ganna, an informal conversation, a relaxed conversation, so she can tell us what her life has been there, what is her life today, and which are her plans in the future, and how from here, from Latin America, we may collaborate with Ukraine and our dear colleagues of intellectual property. Very well. So I shall proceed in English.
Wonderful that you are finally in Medellín with us. I will take a few seconds just to introduce you professionally. So, I need my glasses, sorry. Ganna Prokhorova is a partner of Mamunya IP boutique firm in Ukraine. She's an attorney at law, mediator, and arbitrator, focused on intellectual property and particularly on trademarks, copyright and designs, unfair competition, and anti-counterfeiting. She's working in IP for almost 17 years, has a profound experience in IP, court cases, and domain name disputes. She's also a domain name panelist at WIPO and an arbitrator at the Court of Arbitration for Art, CAF, at the Netherlands, Hague, and member of INTA, ECTA, Marx, and PTMG. Again, Ganna, thank you so much that you're here with us, that you can finally make it. I remember when we started talking about this possibility, so it's good that now it's a reality. And well, so let's talk about your life. Tell us maybe how everything started there in February in Ukraine.
Might be on. Yes, it's on finally. Well, first of all, thank you for having me here, because for me it's so much important, and actually this is some kind of mission here to speak about the time where we are living now, how we handle with all those issues, and of course when we talked with each other, I immediately took this chance. So I'm so much thankful to you personally and to ASIPI for inviting and speaking about Ukraine and the situation that we are living. And I think that I'm the first person from Ukraine who have ever took the chance to speak before this great audience. So I'm really happy to be here, and I know that you are super welcome, and I feel myself like, well, some kind of home, so thank you. Well, going back how it was started, how we started to live in the new reality. This is the pictures. I just wanted to show you where Ukraine is. This is the biggest country of Europe 600,000 of square meters. Before the war, our population was 41 million of people. And you can see from the map that we are surrounded by different neighbors, a lot of neighbors actually, Russia, Belarus, Poland, Hungary, Moldova. So we are like in the eastern part of Europe, but still we are the biggest European country. And before the war, which started on February 24, there were a lot of rumors that something will happen. Many people were thinking that we will have more tensions in the eastern part and the southern part. Some of people were thinking that we will have the full-scale war. And actually, I was also feeling that some full wars will happen. So I was some kind of prepared. I had the backpack for my son, whom you already know, some of you whom you met on this year on the conferences, because he was traveling with
14
me.
14 years old, right?
Yes, Ilya is 14 years old. And so I prepared my backpack with the most necessary things like documents, some water, and something to eat, actually. And I was staying in the balcony. But, you know, so I tried to be prepared to have some options, but when it started at 5:30 a.m., when you are waking up from the so loud explosions, it's like firework, but intense. The sound is intense more, and you are just trying to understand what's going on. And then my father called me and told, "Well, my love, the war is now."
What a word is that? Oh,
That was something, these words I will remember forever.
Lying at the bed and your father said the war started.
Yeah, that was quite of, you know, you need to have some time to understand what to do next. And, you know, I'm rather an active person, so I tried to understand what to do. So I arranged our sleeping place and our actually living place in the corridor, which is far from the windows, because we were told that if bombs are coming, and we heard a lot of rockets and explosions and the missiles. So I tried to to stay more in the corridor, which is far from the windows, because even if the rocket is not in your house, you still can, the glass from the windows can be broken, and you can be, you know, so, and also I put this scotch to the windows to help somehow. So yeah, it was not so easy. And I remember the first words of my son, who said, "Mom, but now it's 8 a.m. and I need to go to school." And we just, well, no school today, sorry, we'll just need to leave somehow and to understand what to do. So, and also on the same day, on February 24, I found the bomb shelter, which occasionally was in my house. I didn't know, so I was lucky. Well, you see the most beautiful...
So you have a bomb shelter at your building and you didn't know about it? No?
No, because I was lucky, really. And
no, that's a sign that you not live on war there. It's
to be
a normal
honest,
place.
This not the best bomb shelter, but at least it's something that, you know, that you will be not on the floor. So you see the most beautiful pictures from this shelter, because it really was not super prepared. And we stayed there for a couple of hours or for half of a day. It depended on how long you will hear the sirens. And sometimes we even slept there with my husband and my kid and our dog. And also I was working from that place because, well, it was also very much important to still proceed with work, because it is something that gives you some feeling of normal life. And this is actually me, the picture of me that was taken by my husband at 3:30 a.m. when I was decided one of the UDRP cases.
So at 3 a.m. in Ukraine, the day that the war started, you were at shelter working?
Well,
What was it moving forward in Ukraine?
It was in some days later, because when the first day, of course, you don't know that you have shelter or what's going to be next. But it was some days after, so we were staying in Ukraine more than several weeks. And when you see the left picture, this is something that I saw from my window. And at one day, one of our IP friends from France, from Lyon, called me at 11:30. I really remember that call, and he told me, Ganna, but you have to think about yourself and about your kid. You have to leave Ukraine because you know that the Kiev will be occupied, and there were a lot of rumors that Kiev will be occupied. My parents were near, they also from Kiev, but they decided to move somehow. They were staying near Bucha, which were finally occupied by Russians. And we didn't have any connections with them within 10 days, so nothing. They didn't have electricity, gas, heating, nothing. It was also very hard to understand what to do. And then at some point, we decided that we just need to go, to leave. It was super hard decision, to be honest. And
you live with your kid, and your husband had to stay in Ukraine.
Yeah, that is the question that men from 18 till 60, they are not allowed to leave the country. But even if my husband was allowed to leave, he wouldn't go because who else will be protecting, right? And so, yeah, I took my son, and there were already some information about temporary protection programs organized by the European Union. So I didn't know where to go, but I just knew that I have to go somewhere. I have to cross the border, and I will find my way, because I have a lot of friends from IP family.
Well, that's a message that you told. You received a lot, without calling anyone, you received a lot of calls and messages from IP friends all over the world, inviting you to go there and stay with them, that they will receive you and your child. That's amazing. That shows how IP is really a family. It's not just
words.
Drinking beers together and drinks and enjoying conferences, but how these things arise in situations like this you're living.
That is absolutely true, because from the first days of the war, I received so many messages in different social media and by mobile phone, and people were offering all kind of help, words, support, where to stay, where to go. So really, we were offered, even with my son, when we were going with these evacuation buses, that actually the trip from Kiev to Poland took us 3.5 days. It was such a long trip. I thought it was forever.
3.5 days until you could leave Ukraine.
Until we finally reached the final destination in Poland. And actually, I was also picked up by my friend from Poland at the Warsaw bus station. But when we were traveling, I didn't know where to go. So it was just, it was just a lot of messages. It was a lot of different offers, and you were just skipping all them, and you were trying to reply to all of them, to say that you are fine. You were just trying to understand what to do next. And many Polish people were really close, because they knew that the Poland is the first stop for Ukrainians where to go. So it was the main common stop.
And you were still in danger inside the bus, right? Some bus were attacked by bombs, right?
That's
so it
true.
was just an issue of luck that you can finally reach Poland.
That is true, because we were really lucky with our bus. We took this evacuation bus. I found it really occasionally in some groups, and this bus were taking us from Kiev to Lviv, Lviv is the closest city near the Polish border. And so we were lucky, because we had this line with white flags, and after us on the same road, next buses was just shooted. So it was just, I don't know, coincidence or luck or angel. I'm happy that it could happen. And then after Lviv, we took another evacuation bus, which was found by me occasionally, and that bus just took us to Poland. And, but when I arrived to Poland, on the next day, I felt so much guilty that I'm here, and my friends, my family are still in Ukraine, and well, I have now the clean sky, and they are not, and they are still under the aggression. So I felt so guilty, and I understood that I need to do something. So I arranged some kind of donation fund, and I know that many of you also helped us with donation, because my husband was all the time in relations with the territorial defense forces, which are not the army, which are the people like you and me, simple people who tried to monitor the situation near the bridges, near the infrastructural buildings. So they tried to see what's going on, how not to allow Russians to occupy Kiev. And so I was doing my best to organize all those things. I also was finding the bulletproof vests in Germany, the ballistics glasses also that protect army guys and these territorial defense forces, waterproof systems, and also, so there was a lot of tasks what to do. And some of my friends, I helped them to find the place of staying, where to stay in Europe. And one of the hardest tasks I had, that was to find a truck that can deliver 2,000 kilograms of sugar from Polish border to one of the regional centers in Ukraine, in Zhytomyr. I still don't know how I found that, but now I know my new skills how to find. But and when we're talking about all these things, and many people are saying that Ukraine are so brave, and one of the representative of the braveness of Ukraine is our president. So we have a lot of funny stories, and there were also funny story that what you can see from space. Yeah, so the pyramids of Egypt, Amazon River, Grand Canyon, and our president. That was funny story, because we are trying not to be always with the bad mood. We're trying to make some funny things, and it helps us a lot.
You say how many days they are in the Poland border?
Well, in Poland border, it was 16 hours only, but the whole our trip was 3.5 days.
And then you find your house at an IP friend, right?
Yes, that was the case. So we arrived, we were picked up in Warsaw by my friends from Warsaw, and then I was decided what to do next, where to go, and my other close friend from Germany, but actually, so as I told you, I had so many options. We even discussed with my son where to go, maybe there, or Malta, or Netherlands, or Germany, or Poland. So
all those options, thanks to IP Friends.
That's true.
Amazing.
That's true, and I have never thought that we have this. Well, I knew always that our IP family is really amazing, and so I mean we are super friendly, we are very open, but I didn't think even that in this situation, in this probably the most horrible time that we are living now, I will receive so much support from all of you, and I'm just happy that I found myself in IP 17 years ago, and I have this possibility to speak before you today. So
wonderful to know that.
And talking about, because I'm often asked, Ganna, how you manage all these things, because it's not so easy to, we see that you are traveling, you're trying to keep your business, how you're doing all that. And and I just tried to understand what helped me the best. And you can see actually the pictures of these things that I was buying, living in Germany already. I was buying for the army guys. So if you have this positive thinking, and if you, even in the really bad situation, you're trying to see new opportunities, you try to think positive. So it is something that will help you to stay strong, to fight further, and also if you need some help, try to ask this help. Actually, this is my problem, because normally I was doing everything by myself, and I realized that well, sometimes even I need some help, and yeah. So if you need this help, just get it.
So there you say in Germany at the house of your IP friend, and you started again your life there, right, with your son, and as you say, trying to stay positive, not to feel guilty, trying to help your country from where you were.
Yeah, and it was also a bit difficult because, so I had so many tasks about how to help military, how to help my friends from Ukraine, and also I had to arrange our life in the country that I just recently was like a tourist. I also kept my firm and kept the business and everything. I tried to, see this, to open my full potential as much as possible with all those things. And still we kept really good relationships, and actually our firm, we are not only like the members of our team, but we are really close friends.
How did you manage? Because I can imagine many of the people that work with you, your colleagues at your firm, were all in different countries, in different places. Many of them maybe staying positive as you, maybe some others that for them was very difficult to focus on work. How did you manage all that?
It's really the question of management, because I saw some of my team members that for these several weeks became much older. So you knew that you have to be, the close shoulder for them. So we were in constant contact with them by phone. We also arranged our regular meetings, online meetings, except of speaking to them in an everyday life. We tried to, and so one of the most important tasks for me as a partner of the firm is to keep the business going. We left all the salary, all the benefits that our team members had before the war, and we are really, really working hard on that, because I know that some of our colleagues from Ukraine, they are really struggling. We actually were focused more on international clients. That helps us a lot, and those firms who were focused on local clients, of course, they are more struggling. And so we still have the same team, and even we invited to join our team 2 new members to the prosecution team. Yeah, so I'm happy that we could find a way to offer new work for them.
And your firm was still receiving work from abroad. I can imagine that, of course, decreased, but your clients were still sending you work. Everything was working normal. What about your clients, the IP office? How was work in Ukraine?
The first days of the war, our clients really were thinking that it is some kind of weird to send us work, but this is something that we were, so much looking for, because the work, except of course making money, but the work is such a good distraction for all of us that you are not only living with the bad news or good news or whatever, but you are still keep going. Your mind is still working, and actually. After the first days of the war, we have this new law that says about deadlines. But although the deadlines are suspended, but still it is not automatically. So if you want to proceed with your prosecution work or some deadlines in the courts, you still have to provide good reasons why the deadline was missed. So therefore, if we are talking to our clients and they were thinking to file, for example, opposition or not, we just try to persuade them that it's better to do within the deadlines. Otherwise, we will have to provide good reasons why international company, which is not suffering from war, filed these documents later.
So you have deadlines flexible, but deadlines at least.
Yeah, sure. And actually, speaking about how we are working now, I must say that the majority of our work is now prosecution work, which helped us really a lot because from the first days of the war, Ukrainian PTO was working all the time without any disruptions. This is because everything is in digital. And I think that we even have to be thankful to COVID times because this time really prepared us a lot, all our systems. So everything was filed electronically, and even Ukrainian PTO became working more fast because nowadays there are no requirement for providing these, the documents handed. Yeah, so everything can be done online. And
so at least one advantage of.
Yeah, well, not one. I have a lot of advantages.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so and therefore, first months of the war, we were focused mainly on prosecution, which helped us. Then
you told me something that
how they work?
The IP office employees were at the first were all living there at the building's shelter.
Yeah, because that was also the good thing that the head of Ukrainian PTO, he bought shower machines, washers, everything that allowed people to live in this building. So those employees, they took their family members, even dogs, cats. So they were living one big family. And they also had this bomb shelter in their own building. So,
That would be good for many of our countries to have the people living there because they don't work at all.
Yeah, so you have a good example how you can manage that. And so for us, for IP professional, it was super helpful because we still had work. For example, like our M&A colleagues or tax colleagues, they really had big problems, but they don't have many projects nowadays, but we as intellectual property area, that is actually why we're so happy to still keep our business going.
And Ganna, and to be finishing, how can we, the IP community from ASIPI, from Latin America, well, maybe you want to talk about this, and then I will ask you the question.
Yeah. I will just talk the one thing about courts, because of course courts were closed for the first months of the war, but and they resumed their work in the late of May. And enforcement authorities, they were more active in terms of anti-counterfeiting work in June, July. Still, we have these issues with regard to deadlines. Of course, we have, unfortunately for us as the professional, we have a decrease of work in court cases. And then, of course, the main area and the main industry is pharma, which we still have cases, patent infringement cases that pharma is still keeping. And going back to your question.
How can we, in some way from here, the IP community in Latin America, with you, our IP colleagues, with Ukraine, how can we do something from here? How do you think about our cooperation?
Well, I would say that you are already doing a lot, because I know many of you who are supporting us and who are providing us with not only work, but also with working places, like remote places or temporary jobs. which is so much important for all of us because Ukrainians are really fast learning people. So I think that you will have you will have added value if you try to employ someone of our IP specialists. We also, I'm talking all the time in all the conferences where I'm attending we still want you to include and to persuade your clients to include Ukraine in the IP portfolio because soon or not so soon, but Ukraine will definitely be a part of the European Union, and still it is really a viable jurisdiction. You saw that we have a really big territory in Europe, and you can provide with some internship to Ukrainian professionals. Also, if someone from you still consider to donate and you are trying to find some fund or reliable, trusted organization, I'm here to help because I'm really researching on that. And also, as I told you, that me and my husband, we were also collecting money, and this is even more easier because at that time we collected more than 20,000 euros. That is not so a huge amount, but if two people can do that, so I think that also this is a good example that if you need something, if you have some idea, you can go forward. So you have my contacts. If you need any good examples, I'm here.
I have two final questions. You're talking there about hiring Ukrainian IP professionals. Many of them lose their job. Are many unemployed IP professionals nowadays?
Mainly those who were working in not the big firms and those who were working for local clients. They really had big problems.
Local companies, I can imagine.
We are staying like in different parts of, not only in Ukraine, but in different parts of the world. And sometimes also I receive some information from my colleagues who really needs help, and they are trying to find some jobs. So also I have those, let's say, list of people who are searching, and that would be
wonderful. And then, well, not a question, but a request. I will ask you to leave us a message from you as a mother, as a wife, as an IP professional, as a woman, as an Ukrainian. What will be your message to ASIPI, to your IP colleagues from Latin America?
I will even stand, okay? Because I want to see, because I look at you and I'm trying to cover all the audience. For us, it's when you're having such a bad situation that we are living now, it's so much important to not feel yourself alone. And therefore, I'm super thankful to all of you for your invitation, for your warm words that make me to believe that we are not alone, that we are supported, that our mankind finally will be better, because if you have so much support and you are not alone, you will definitely have the better time. And saying that, I would like to finish my speech today with a short video from my colleagues, from my friends actually, from one of Ukrainian tech companies with the words of thank you. So I will.
Not so long ago, my life was rather ordinary. Waking up much too early, a cup of coffee, pat our kitty goodbye for the day. All of this may seem familiar to you, prosaic, yet I loved every minute of it. However, now I know parallel realities exist simultaneously in our world, not far from where you peacefully laid your head down to sleep each night, while I was terrified of so many things. But you were there for me. You greeted us, offered food and clothes, took care of our injured kids and even pets. You donate, protect our rights and restore our home. For saving our lives and dignity, we say дякую.
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 Tell дякую to those who responded to our call for help. Shed light and celebrate their contribution with us.
So, muchas gracias. Thank you so much for having me today, and дякую from my heart and from heart of millions of Ukrainians.
Thank you, Ganna. Thank you very much. Tenemos, si alguien quiere hacer alguna pregunta.
If anyone would like to ask a question, we have 5 more minutes if someone has a question. I don't see very well. No. Tenemos un regalo, así que gracias de nuevo. Había una pregunta, sí.
Perdón.
Thank you so much, and really, please bring to all your colleagues our support and solidarity. But considering the situation, how you foresee the winter?
You know that today, when I woke up, I saw that again Ukraine will receive another missiles, and that was the case. So today, 70 new missiles arrived to Ukraine and also to Kiev. And again, we have these problems with electricity and with water, with heating. So I think that winter will be hard. Therefore, again, many Ukrainians are thinking of going to Europe at least to spend winter there. But there are also good news that according to those information that we have, in spring, we have to take back Donbas region, which is the eastern part. So after that, I don't know what to expect, but still we are provided with the support from our international partners, and everybody is saying that Ukraine will definitely prevail, and I have no doubt of that. But the question is just when and what is the price. So I hope for the better, and we still need to wait, and we still need to help as much as we can.
And for the moment, you will stay at Germany, right?
This is the question that is discussed. I don't know, maybe I will live in between two countries, Ukraine and Germany, so we will see.
At least now you can go to Ukraine without any problem.
Yes.
You can enter Ukraine, your kid, that's not a problem.
It takes you some time, like 24, 26, 28 hours by buses.
Because you go just by bus.
By buses and by trains, but when you have these electricity problems, it's better to take buses. For me, it's more convenient, to be honest. Yeah, but still we can travel, we can still travel. And we are saying like that, well, no electricity, fine, no water, fine, no heating, fine, but no Russians. So that is the message that I want to deliver.
Well, we hope we have you next year in Mexico, Ganna, that's for sure. ¿Alguna pregunta más?
Any other question? No? Someone can help me otherwise? Thank you.
¿Tienes una pregunta? Bien. Sí, no te veo, no veo.
Ganna, hi. Well, first of all, thank you. Thank you for, I really admire you. I use you as an example to so many other people. Whenever I told you once that I saw a post from you in LinkedIn, and I was like, wow, life is about perspective. We are, I don't know, complaining about the day to day, and then I saw your post and I was like, you know what, I should reevaluate my complaining. So thank you for being here. I was just wondering, I think that I see Ukraine as a country with so many opportunities. Has been a country that has been at the forefront of, in the energy sector, a lot of R&D, a lot of talented people. I don't know if in your mind you have a time frame as to when you think, things may go back to normal, and what role will IP, kind of like forge in the reconstruction of the country, and your role in that reconstruction?
Well, in terms of timing, of course, it's hard to predict because nobody knows. And I think that until next summer, we will definitely be in the war, unfortunately, probably until the end of the year. But the thing is that, well, my personal vision, and I'm on the market for many, many years, so I also understand that once it is over, or at some point we have some, I don't know, agreement or some good, things that we can still have, like a United Nation and Ukrainian territory and everything. So I feel that we will have, like IP professionals, we will have a lot of work. And the work will come, investments will come, and it's just a matter of time. That's what we're saying. It's just a matter of time. So far we are waiting, like we are helping at some point, but also we are waiting. And I really believe in my country, really, from my just to my hand. So yeah, I know that we will be really busy with the work.
Thank you, Ganna. Gracias a todos por estar aquí. Y ya les...
Thank you, Anna. Thanks to everyone for being here. And it seems lunch is being served in the Pepe Terrace, which is where breakfast is served.